This is my first PC build recommendation. But before I start listing down the components that you should buy, let me first explain why I've chose these specific parts. Some of the components that I've listed down are actually some parts that I've actually tried for myself. So when it comes to gaming performance, I will not just base it on theories, but I will also get to base it on my personal experience as well. I'm doing this so that my first PC build on this channel will not be inaccurate. So in this video, I will put the price in Philippine peso, but I will be putting also the dollar equivalent just below the price because maybe there's a chance this channel will be going global. So the specific goal of this PC build is to give you a well-balanced computer dedicated for playing MOBA games at ultra settings and as well as playing AAA titles with at least medium to high settings. Now I did, however, pick up these prices from online Philippine stores and just rounded them up to the nearest higher number. And lastly, I was going to go for an AMD build, specifically the Athlon X4 860K, but I can't seem to find it anywhere here in the Philippines, so I decided to stick with an Intel dual-core build. That being out of the way, let's proceed to the PC build. Starting off with the CPU, you have your Intel Pentium G3 258 Anniversary Edition. This is still a very capable CPU that can also overclock very well up to 4 GHz with a stock cooler. Yes, you heard me right, with the stock cooler. You don't need to get an aftermarket heatsink or liquid cooler. It has the Haswell architecture and it's very good for the price per performance, matching some of the Core i3's performance and as well as it beats the FX 6300 gaming wise. The MSI H81M-P33 is what I've chosen for the motherboard. It has a very cheap price but with all the features that you need. Don't be fooled by this mini ITX form factor and cheap price because it can very well overclock the CPU that we've chosen and will give you everything you need from a motherboard. Of course, it doesn't have any super advanced gaming features, but for the price, it's the best you can get. I've chosen the Crucial Ballistic Sports because it is very well reviewed online and it's mostly the go-to RAM for these kinds of budget builds. It has a speed of 1600 MHz, but let's be honest, for gaming, RAM speed isn't that much important. I saw this on DynaQuest PC for 1,200 for a single stick, so going with 2 sticks would give you 2,400. If you will just be going for a MOBA dedicated build, 4GB is fine. But if you want everything set up so that you don't need to keep on upgrading your RAM in case you want to play some other games like GTA 5, Battlefield Hardline, Star Wars Battlefront, go ahead for 8GB. Graphics card for this build is a Palette GTX 750 Ti Storm X overclock. It is one of the most commended graphic cards on the market, even Maximum PC gave a good review about it before. It is a generation below but will still suffice for most games if you want to have PS4 equivalent graphics or even higher. 2GB of GDDR5 RAM is enough for 1080p. It runs some of today's games at ultra settings. This will also run AAA titles on medium to high and basically run MOBAs like Dota 2 at 60 frames per second. I play League of Legends a lot but I won't state the benchmark here because it only takes a potato to run that game. If you have the extra money, go with GTX 950, but if you don't, then it's not a loss to stick with this card. I have had this card before and I was very well satisfied. Wasn't even thinking of replacing it, but I've won a giveaway so I had no choice. I had to sell it to buy a new power supply. Power supply is a Corsair VS 450W power supply for 1,700 pesos. The other components in this build are very power efficient. I even doubt if it goes up to 400 watts, so this power supply should be fine for you. For the hard drive, I've chosen a Western Digital Caviar Blue 1TB. Kind of no point going for 500GB nowadays since the price margin is significantly low. Lastly, for the case, you have your TechWare Infinity Mid-Tower Gaming Case. TechWare is a Philippine manufacturer, so I'll be giving a global counterpart as well, which is the XiEoN Gaming Series XiON 310 for around $23. Going to the TechWare Infinity, you have a really great looking case with the support for 3 SSDs and 3 3.5-inch drives. It also has 3 120mm fans included for airflow and you can also add 2 more at the top and at the front. It basically has everything you need for this budget setup. That adds up to 19,300 pesos. This concludes this PC build, and I hope I helped you pick out the parts for your new computer. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.